All right, guys, what's going on? Back at you again, and we are going over the NFC and AFC championship game, so it will be a quick one. And our first matchup, we got New England versus a backup quarterback that actually used to play for the New England Patriots. And it was a guy that Josh McDaniels brought with him to the Raiders. And for a short while, he benched Derek Carr for this guy for the last 4 games, I think it was, and he spoke highly of him. He even had a 360 something yard game. I think they lost that, but the point is, he's capable, and there's a bunch of NFL coaches that like this Stidham guy. But he's on a short week versus a team that's playing for a Super Bowl bid, so it's not quite the same. The time he played in that game, it was a losing season. You know, they're playing a game that didn't matter. So I just don't have much faith. Like, I think he'll have his moments. There'll be moments where he looks competent, but then you'll really quickly realize why he's a backup sooner. Well, more probably in the second half, because I think what will happen is Sean Payton will have like his first 10 to 20 plays scripted for him that they practiced all week that he's comfortable with. So he'll look good for his first few drives because it's scripted. But when it starts to get later in the game, third, fourth quarter, where it's situational, that's where you're going to see the backup play. And I think Josh McDaniels will be able to hand over all his weaknesses to Vrabel and the defense to be able to figure out how to stop him. They're going to try to make him play left-handed, and hopefully a much better game plan than they had last week, and a better game plan than the Bills had. So if you're giving up 30 points to this team with no quarterback, I don't know what to tell you. I really don't. I'm going to go with New England here, and if they lose, it's going to be a very boring Super Bowl. But I'm going with New England. Next, we got LA versus Seattle. I think there was a matchup they had a few weeks ago, and it was very high scoring, very exciting. So it's basically a rematch of that. I don't know which way to go here. This game is so tough because either team could win this game. If you told me Los Angeles won and I didn't see the game, you were to say Los Angeles beat them, I wouldn't be surprised. And if you told me Seattle won, I wouldn't be surprised either. So this is definitely one of the hardest games to pick. I would say this is a game time decision. This is one of those games where you got to turn the game on and look at the pregame, look at all the quarterbacks, look at their facial expressions, look at how they're looking and throwing, and just the vibe and aura of them. If it feels off, then I would say that's the team that's going to lose. And that's, guys, that has rung true for years now. We've been using that strategy. I just haven't had as much time as I had in the past to reveal all that stuff, but that stuff still happens. So with this game, I would just look before the game, look at the warm-ups, the coin toss, just get a feel of everyone, and just you'll know right away who's going to win or lose. These players are human, and they can't always hold their emotions and be stoic all the time. Sometimes they just go through the cracks, and you can see the cracks start to crumble, so to speak. But with that, if you're going to put a gun to my head and tell me to choose a team, I might go Seattle just because they have so much firepower, but at the same time, this is a big NFL game. I'm going to go with the Rams and Matthew Stafford. And then we'll see a New England Rams Super Bowl, in my opinion, and I'll pick probably the Rams to win that, and Matthew Stafford probably won't retire because Matthew Stafford's one of those players that you're going to have to drag him off the football field, or you're going to have to tell him you have a career-ending injury for him to stop. I don't think he's one of those guys that's going to walk away on his own. Like, he just loves this game. I remember still when he was 21 years old, his rookie year, this dude broke his collarbone, guys, and he still went out and threw a pass on the next play and threw a touchdown to Calvin Johnson. I'll never forget that. Dude had a broken collarbone. I had a broken collarbone before, so I know how much that really hurts. And to still throw an NFL pass in a game and score the touchdown. Granted, it was only like a 1 yard pass, but still, NFL game on the line, and he won the game. So like I will never forget that. That was when I gave him my respect. His rookie years when I was like, all right, Matthew Stafford is one of the toughest guys in the league, and that still rings true. Almost how many years later? Almost 15, 20 years later, still strongest guy in the league. It's insane. Some guys are just built different, man, and just mentally, he's one of those guys. You can't shake him. For crying out loud, dude does no look passes. He'll look left and just throw it right. Pinpoint accuracy. Like a friggin' point guard in the NBA. Like, it's insane. And I think Los Angeles will have a good enough defensive plan to confuse Sam Darnold. Because the key of this is going to be Sam Darnold. Is Sam Darnold going to be able to make consistent passes time and time again on third down? Because this game's going to come down to third down, in my opinion. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. Like, I'd be surprised if the NFL does another blowout. That would be so irresponsible. I think they're going to give us a good game here because the Denver game has potential to be a blowout. It could get ugly in that game. So I hope they don't do two because that would be very unorthodox and unbecoming. But yeah, I just don't trust. I trust Sam Darnold and his team around him because they're dogs. His team is probably the best team. I just don't know if he's the quarterback to take him over that hump. If they had Aaron Rodgers, I would pick Seattle. I'd be like, yeah, Seattle's winning with Aaron Rodgers. Or if they had, I don't know, just someone just a little better. You know, I don't even know. Just anyone, because Sam Darnold, we've seen him fail miserably. You know what I mean? So now we're supposed to put all this trust into him to beat Stafford in the NFC Championship game. It's different in the regular season. There's no pressure like this. I just don't know that Sam Darnold is that guy. I mean, I hope he proves me wrong, man. Take that next step so we can start talking about you like a better quarterback. But, I mean, until he can show me that he can win a big game, I don't know if I can go with it. Because last week, that wasn't even Sam Darnold's win. That was a team win. They scored on special teams. They scored on defense. You know, I mean, he made a few passes here and there, but they didn't win because Sam Darnold was so amazing. They won because their team is amazing. And everything just went their way. And who knows, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is a fairy tale season for Seattle and they win the Super Bowl. Mike McDonald wins the Super Bowl as a first-year head coach and all that. Who knows? Maybe I am wrong. Well, no, this isn't his first year. It's his second. No, it's his first because Pete Carroll got fired last year, I believe. I could be wrong, but a year goes by so fast that sometimes it feels like 2 years. But I think it might be his first year. So it could be he might be ill-equipped, and who knows, maybe McVay, they do the storyline where McVay just outcoaches him. Another McVay special, you know? And now McVay versus Vrabel in the Super Bowl. Like, it could go either way. All I know is if Denver wins, they're not winning the Super Bowl. I think we can agree that Denver is the team that probably isn't winning, and if they did win, no one would believe it. Like if they let Denver win the Super Bowl, I probably won't be breaking games down anymore because that's just too obvious. Now, it's most likely New England versus Seattle or the Rams, and I'm just torn between this Rams game. I really, truly am. Because either team can get them. I almost want to make a pick later. You know what I'll do? I'll make a pick now, and then if I don't feel great about it, we'll make another video on Saturday. Because the games are on Sunday. So we'll go with the Rams right now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go take a look at their old film from a few weeks ago. Even though it's all rigged and scripted, but I just need to get a feel of this before I can really decide. I want to see how they run around, how they hit each other, how they move, you know. And I just need to take a look. That's really all it is. Other than that, we'll stick with Los Angeles now, and it's a rematch. Either way, we're getting a rematch, no matter what team except Denver, Los Angeles. But every other team that goes in there is a rematch of what we've seen before. So we could get a New England, Los Angeles rematch again, or New England, Seattle rematch again. So we'll see. Other than that, guys, I think we're going to leave it here. So we got New England and Los Angeles winning. If I don't feel good about it, we'll come back Saturday and make another video. But other than that, guys, thanks for watching. Hit that like button down below. That helps a lot. And I'll see you guys next video.